Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Homebrew Buffoonery. Okay, so just before we get started, remember I have now got my focused homebrew channel ready to go. All my videos are on there. Homebrew journey. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. Something to fall asleep to. All my videos that are on my personal channel, once this Lioness session of tastings is finished, will be moved over to the Homebrew Journey channel. There's an archive of the brew days that I've done. There's an archive of some of the tasting videos that I've done, and everything from now on will be on the Homebrew Journey channel and nothing on the old personal channel. So if you haven't liked and if you haven't subscribed, you can do it now, and you too can be part of the least viewed videos on YouTube. Okay, so today's brew day, I'm not started here at all because I've got to do some strange stuff and I'm in my decorating gear and all, is a white IPA, which is 21B on the old BJCP guidelines. The recipe for this is that I figured out is 2 kilos of German Pilsner, half kilo of wheat malt, 50 grams of a Crystal 60 just to give it a midges of colour, and then what's the other one? 50 grams. 50 grams of sugar, because when I was working it out on the old Brewer's Friend app here, it was just under on one of the things. So I thought, oh, I'll bung some sugar in, see what happens. And it brought it right into line. Hops wise, I'm going 10 grams of Mosaic at 60 minutes in the boil, which is going to give me my bitterness, just in style. And then 10 grams of Amarillo, 10 minutes from the end, for me flavour and for me aroma, which will give me hopefully a citrusy kind of IPA, which is what I'm after, but not too bitter. The lower the bitterness, the better. Mash in at 64, and the way I'm going to do it today is I said I'd go back to this 2-pot infinite loop figure of 8 rubbish 2-pump thing, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to have me 1 pot with all my grain in, 9 litres of water, and I'm going to recirculate that for, I don't know, about 45 minutes or so. We'll see how it goes, and I'll keep checking with my refractometer because I need a pre-boil of, what is it, 1045, which is pretty high really, isn't it? But I'm going to recirculate, and then at the end of the mash, after 45 minutes or so, I'm going to drain that wort off, and then on my second pan, which will have heated water at say 75-ish degrees, I'll have 6 litres in there. I'm going to use my sparge arm, and I'm going to put the pump on low, and I'm just going to drop the water through the grain bed and see if I can rinse off any more sugars, and see how much I get out of it. Hopefully I'll get me 13 litres, which I need for a boil. Here's my stats for today. All ticks on my Brewer's Friend thing, apart from the final gravity, which is a 1 point below where it needs to be. So the OG of 1058, FG of 1009, and to me it needs to be 1010, but you know, who cares. ABV is 6.4, IBUs are 42, 41.5, 42, and SRMs are 5, so it's going to be a really pale beer. It's going to be a bit like my American Standard Lager, which I'm brewing for my mate, which has got an SRMs of like 3, and it's, you know, it's virtually white, absolutely clear. And the other thing is, for the style, it said use sort of a Belgian-y kind of yeast. Well, I've got this Safale K97, so I'm going to use that. It says on the back, German ale yeast selected for fine Belgian type wheat beers, and here's the boss. Okay, so minor interruption, but there's the old Safale K97, and what I'm going to do is, because I did it with the American lager as well, is pitch in some of my own kveik. So this is kveik that I've harvested and dried off and pounded to within an inch of its life, and it's just powder. I'll just put a midges in there because I think when it's pitched with something else, it sort of just helps it get going, and I think the attenuation might be a little bit better as well. So as you can see, there's been a bit of a break. I've got stuff set up, so here is the brew day. Okay, disaster number one is that there's too much grain in there, 2.5 kilos in 9 litres of water. It's too much and the pump can't cope with it. So the pump is sucking too much through and it's stalling basically. So I'm just going to leave it to mash as it is. What I will do later on is I'm going to change this onto this output here, and then we've got my sparge water in there, and I'll circulate that through and run off from here into my boil kettle. And there you go, first disaster, 5 minutes in. Okay, so I don't know whether you can see, but I've just come up with a cunning plan. We're about half an hour into the mash, and I've got here my bazooka filter, which was from my old system from first few episodes. So what I've done is I've put it into the middle of the grain. I've tried to get all the grain out of the way as I can, and hopefully that's going to give me enough space to pull some water through and see if we can get the old spargy pump working. So let's give it a go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so going okay. Temperature is gone up a bit at 66-ish, 65, 60. Whoa, what's going on? Temperature's messing around. So I'm just going to find my burner and see how long this lasts. But I think that might just be my solution. Right, something proper bonkers has gone on, because I've just taken a refractometer reading and I'm half an hour in and I'm at 1062 pre-boil. So my pre-boil should be 10:45. So I think I might have too much grain. Something's gone wrong with my brewer's friend. But my temperature's playing silly beggars with me now. What's going on? There we go. So yeah, 1062. That's higher than any beer I've ever had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it running and see how high we can get. Might get it up to 1080. Good bet we're going to have a 10% IPA. Blimey. Right, so here's the BJCP guidelines for a white IPA, speciality IPA, 21B, similar to the Belgian IPA that I did, and that got me 34 out of 50 on the old BrewCon last year, which wasn't too bad. So overall impression is a fruity, spicy, refreshing version of an American IPA, but with a lighter colour, less body, and featuring either the distinctive yeast and or spice additions typical of a Belgian wit beer, which is why I'm using K97. It says moderately fruity esters, banana, citrus, and maybe apricot. That's what they said I had in my Belgian IPA, apricot, which sounded a bit weird because I don't think I ever actually tasted that one, but never mind. May have a light, moderate spice aroma as coriander or pepper, and that might come from the yeast. So yeast is an important factor in this. Hop aroma is moderately low to medium. American New World hops, so stone fruits and citrus and tropical fruits, papaya and pineapple and all that sort of rubbish. Esters and spices may reduce hop aroma perception. Maybe some clovey stuff in there, a bit peppery maybe. Appearance pale to deep golden colour. Well, mine's going to be pale. Typically hazy because of the wheat malt. Moderate to large dense white head that persists. We'll see. It should have a light malt flavour. Now my American Standard, which I did last time, I had a quick swig of that and that tasted really, really biscuity, as it should do. So a few more of them are beginning to taste a bit more biscuity, but that might be because my palate's developing, because I can't taste much. Citrus flavour is similar to grapefruit and orange. I'd like lemon really, but orange will do. Stone fruit like apricot, sometimes banana, sometimes clove, because of the yeast, coriander, orange peel, same sort of thing. Medium to light body, because it's meant to be quite a drinkable beer this, and its characteristic ingredients, pale and wheat malt. So I'm using Pilsner malt, is that really in it? And German ale yeast, not a Belgian yeast, but it should be good for Belgian ales, it says. And all the stats I've got are pretty much bang on. The OG are 1065, that's the top end. And at the minute, because I've got 2.5 kilos in 9 litres of water, I think that's why the OG, the gravity at the minute is 1065. I've still got 20 minutes left in the mash. but I've another 6 litres of water there that I'm going to rinse through, so maybe that'll dilute it a little bit, but we'll see what we get. Hopefully the original pre-boil gravity, should be 1045. Lots of commercial examples. Well, here's the tags. High strength, pale colour, top fermented, North America craft style IPA family, speciality family, bitter, hoppy and spice. Okay, so coming to the end of the mash now. The actual mash pot here with the bazooka filter, which is working brilliantly to let the wort through and so the pump isn't straining, is done. We're about 1068, which is 23 points above where I should be. I've got 6 litres of water in this other pot, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn everything off, and then I'm going to drain what's in the mash there, and I'm going to connect this hose to that pot, and I'm going to very gently put the water back through the grain. And what I suspect will happen is that it'll dilute the sugar and will bring the gravity right down, probably to about 1045, which will be spot on. What I was worried about was that it'll affect the flavour and blah blah, but I'm not sure it will, because bitterness and aroma and hops come from the boil, from the hops in the boil. So we're just about ready to get going, and let's have a mess about with some piping. Right, and there we go. So that's sparging away gently. I could maybe move those around a bit, but I don't want to run the water too fast. Seems to be going okay. Okay, so no cleaning involved in that last 5 minutes at all. So what I've got is my grains, just drain out last few bits of wort there. I'll give it a bit of a squeeze. I've got whatever has come out of there with the sparge water in here, and it is currently, remember it was 1068 when it was just in there, but if I take a bit of a sample, it's nice and pale, nice and clear as well, blimey. Hopefully this will have diluted down a little bit, and it is now at 1049, which is 4 points higher than what I needed it to be. So that's not actually worked too badly, has it? I've actually, my efficiency is a bit better there. Let's see what my efficiency is. Just amuse yourselves for a second. Pre-boil, 1049, efficiency 77%. Oh, woohoo! That's the best I've ever had by some way. Original gravity banging style, final gravity banging style, ABV right in the top end actually, IBU's the same, colour's the same. Oh, I'm right happy there. That's good. Let's get it drained, get it on the boil, and get some hops added. Okay, so we're at 60 minutes in the boil. I will just say I'm right enjoying this brew day. I've had a proper good time. There's my 10 grams of mosaic, 40 IBUs worth. So I'll drop it in there on my hanging device, and then we shall leave it now for 45 minutes to boil, when we'll put some whirl flock in, perhaps not as much as last time, and then 10 minutes from the end, 10 grams of Amarillo, and I'm just debating whether I should use my plaster stirrer again or whether I should just use a spoon to whirlpool it. Undecided. We'll see what happens when we get to that part of the brew day. So I've got 5 more minutes left, I think, with me 10 grams of Amarillo that's in there. I've put my whirl flock in as well. But, you know, it's doing okay. We'll get it cooled down and we'll see you on the floor. Shut up. Okay, so here we go again with adventures in whirlpooling. Harder than it looks, this. Right, that's not working at all, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a big spin with the old spoon, or maybe my thermometer, which has been my best tool so far, get a proper vortex going, then I'm going to leave it for half an hour, and like I said before, I'll see you on the floor. Okay, I just want to show you how clean this wort is after I've whirlpooled it with my thermometer. I'm proper happy with this, proper happy. Right, so that is as clean I've had and as clear as I've had it for ages. So I'm right happy with that. Whatever's left in there, I'm going to mechanically filter like this. Okay, so you can see there all the rubbish on the bottom. There's quite a bit of clear stuff there, but I'm not going to be able to get it all out. So what I have done is for this demijohn, I've got my funnel, that's my camera strap, my funnel, and I've got some muslin in the top, and I'm going to filter, siphon through that. So hopefully I'll get some clean work, but I'll have to use this to separate some of the trub out, and hopefully I'll get another 4 litres. Right, end of that now, I'm fed up. I've got all the rubbish from me one filtering through muslin there, it's making a right mess. But this is my first runnings off the top after the whirlpool, and it's pretty clean. I like cleaner, but you know, that's not too bad. Pretty steep learning curve tonight, loads of stuff gone wrong. Let's have a think. The mash, 2.5 kilos to 9 litres of water, that was just mental. 1068. So if ever, mind you, if I ever want to do a really strong beer, I know that I can get up that end, so that's okay. The one thing was good that I did figure out was the bazooka filter in the grain bed. So if you ever have a stuck mash, if you have a bazooka filter, feed it through the grain bed, and you know, so it's touching your false bottom, and that gives it space for the water to get through, and your pump should work okay after that. Mine did, it was okay. They made a horrific mess, and then I did the sparge, which I had my water at 78, and I just fed it through, ended up getting easily 13 litres, no bother. What else have I done? The whirlpool, I need to figure out a better way of doing it. I'm using my thermometer at the minute, and I whiz it around with my thermometer, and that works really well. Did it with that plaster stirrer, yeah, absolute rubbish. What else? I need to figure a better way of getting all the stuff out of the whirlpool kettle, off the boil kettle once the work's cooled down. I don't know how I'm going to do that siphoning. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. It's a bit funny. That's all. That mechanical filtering, it's not working at all. No, it's just a drip at the minute, so we'll have to wait for that to drop out. But you know, you live and learn, don't you? That's at least 4 things that I've done completely wrong tonight. I have cleaned the place up though, that's good. So the boss will be happy with that. But you know, 1058 OG starting on hopefully 8 litres, 9 litres of good work. Pitch the K97, is it? K97 and some of the old fake. And yeah, we'll get a nice beer out of it, hopefully. Hopefully the Amarillo will be really nice. So 1058, bit of K97, bit of fake, bit of fermentation, get a bit of paler colour as well, and we'll have a nice white IPA. So there you go, end of another disastrous brew day. That turned up decent beer, I hope. So you see how easy it is to do things wrong and still get a decent product. And as always, you know, you can like and subscribe to this video or to the channel Homebrew Journey. Come on, more than 10 subscribers required. And as always, look out for more videos in the future. Lots of stuff coming up. And why don't you go out and brew something white?